Today is Tuesday, Parashat Vayikra. We live these days in a time that is quite challenging. It's a time of adversity. People are concerned, they're worried. We are to follow instructions and stay indoors at home. But any time of adversity and challenge is actually an opportunity to be inspired and to become better people. Our sages teach us when there is time of trouble, we are to sort of introspect and see what we can improve on a personal level. Yes, this is an epidemic or a pandemic that is going all over the world. So you can think about it in terms of a global situation, and it is, or a national situation, and it is. But it can be improved by individuals becoming better people. And there are lessons to be learned. Nothing happens just by chance. We cannot stay aloof or indifferent. We have to be awakened into thinking what it is that we can do to protect ourselves, our families, our city, the nation, and the world, to bring healing to the people that need healing, and to safeguard those that need to be protected. There is what we can do, and our sages have advice that if we are to follow, there will be a great opportunity for us to turn the tide, and not just during the times of trouble. We should carry these inspiration and these great ideas that we'll speak about into the normal times. Sometimes we've taken too much for granted, and we have to be appreciative of the good times. People are staying home, maybe there's more time with the family, more time to be children with their parents, parents with their children, more time to appreciate the importance of the home, more focus on the home than looking for pleasure outside. But these are some of the ideas that are brought by our Hachamim, by our sages, in the situation that is happening today all over the world. So number one is teshuvah. Person, Hachamim tell us, when there is trouble, a person should be mefashpesh b'ma'asav. Should be introspect and look what it is that he can do to correct, to improve himself. And see maybe there are certain things that he was not so careful about. Then ma'asim tovim, good deeds, acts of kindness. Think about people that could use your help. Think what you can do for others. Tefillah, prayer. Prayer is very important. Hashem created the world, and the top of the creation, the apex of the creation was creation of man. But in the creation of man, it is so that man has a contact and has a connection with Hashem through prayers, through praising Hashem. That's one of the ideas that is brought, is the whole purpose for creating the world is so that man would praise and connect with Hashem. So tefillah is very important. Reading Tehillim, Talmud Torah, learning Torah, studying Torah. And today, thank God, we're able to take the internet, that is a tool that has been used, unfortunately, for negative purposes all too often, for fake news going viral, for lashon hara, for bullying, all sorts of things. We take that tool and we make it kadosh by using it for shiurim of Torah. There is so much available nowadays in terms of Torah classes. Many schools have continued their program with their students online. At Emma Banim, we have put together a Zoom room where we learn, and Daf Yomi is online. The prayers are online, so we're taking this tool and we're using it for Talmud Torah. So each person should continue, whether it's at home, from the books that he has, or for classes that he can participate in. Talmud Torah, Torah is what can protect Am Yisrael. Tzedakah, charity. Charity, caring for one another. When you care for others, Hashem also cares for you. Then there is a concept to say 100 berachot a day with kavanah. There are so many opportunities for berachot, birkot hashachar, the amidah, that when we eat, when we say Birkat Mazon, when we relieve ourselves. There are many opportunities for berachot. A person should try to say 100 berachot a day with kavanah. The other advice that is given is to be very humble and to forgive others, even if something is coming to you, even if somebody wronged you, didn't give you enough honor, respect, treated you improperly. The greatest thing you can do is you forgive him, because when you forgive, Hashem also forgives. And when you do an act of kindness or such a forgiveness, it brings good not only to you, but to all of the Jewish people, and the whole world can benefit. Each one of our good deeds is a bright light that can bring light and healing and goodness to the world, because after all, the world is made up of individuals. The other thing is leitchazek bebitachon, to be strong in our faith in Hashem, and to take away pachad min halev, to push away fear from the hearts. I know these are times that are worrisome, but fear and worry doesn't help. You want to reduce stress in these times. It may be difficult, but the idea is to take your measures, stay home, stay at a distance from people if you have to be someplace where there are other people, but at the same time have bitachon b'Hashem. The other aspect that is brought also is when we relieve ourselves, we go to the restroom, we say the bracha asher yatzar, which is the bracha where we thank Hashem and we praise Hashem for His wonders, how He created a body that has so much, that is incredible, such incredible systems in the body that we take for granted. We should thank Him for that, and thank Him for our good health, and be thankful for what we take for granted in terms of how the body works. Then we should be very careful with Lashon Hara, with evil speech. That's something very important. And Rabbi Kavnietsky brought this. He's a Gadol Torah, and he said this is a way to protect ourselves. Be very careful how we speak about others. Then Pitum HaKetoret. The incense was something that Aharon HaKohen used to stop an epidemic. The incense was the incense that was brought on the Mizbeach HaKetoret in Bet HaMikdash. And that is something that is for protection. Of course, now we don't have Bet HaMikdash, but if we read Pitum HaKetoret, it's to some extent equivalent to that. Then we have a mitzvah, Nishmartem me'od lenafshotechem, to safeguard our health, and by this is following the instructions of the medical field, which is now stay away from people, stay at home. That is something that is very important to follow, because that's one of the mitzvot of the Torah. Then we have to be very careful with sheker, not to be saying anything that is not true, to be careful not to be deceitful, to be careful not to be fake in terms of our statements. That the Musar of today in Chok Lisel spoke about this, how that is important, and brings the Zohar Kadosh and speak about the importance for protection to be truthful in our statements. And the other thing is to be very careful from machloket, from conflict and disagreement and discord, to make peace. The idea is the Olam, the Musar brought the Pirkei Avot that says that the Olam, the world, exists on Din, on justice, on Emet, truth, and Shalom and peace. Then Kriyat Prashat HaKorbanot. There is part of the prayer is the Korbanot. And as we read the Korbanot, that is something that can protect us from any type of epidemic. Kibud Ava'em, to respect our mothers and fathers. Make a call to see how they're doing. Do things that would make them happy, because that gives you arichut yamim also. Then to be very careful, to be respectful to rabbis, to our rabbinic leaders, to our teachers of Torah, to be careful, to respect them and not to rebel against them, chas v'shalom. And lidabek betalmidei chachamim, to come close to talmidei chachamim, to learn from them. And now as we get ready for Pesach, The idea is to get rid of any chametz. So now we are home. Many of us can do that very well. To get rid of any chametz in anticipation of Pesach. And finally, in this list that was brought by the organization called Machon HaSefat Zkenim, they also very much recommend that before Shabbat, Erev Shabbat Kodesh, to make sure that your nails are not too long, the fingernails should be cut, because that's one thing also that is protecting the person. And these are wonderful recommendations, and they're recommendations as we go through this time of trouble for the whole world, that we'll be inspired to do good, to become better people, and to take these inspirations in good times, in normal times, in times that are just perfectly regular, because these are advice for any moment, so that we don't need to be awakened by this kind of incredible world challenge, that it should do something, that it should be something that we do regularly, because these are wonderful advice to be carried by every person. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.